Hey guys, it's me, Chrissy Live, here with another episode of The Unfiltered Truth. Hi, I know it's been a while, but I've been trying to figure out what direction I want to go in, what location. Actually came across a great location. I'm waiting for him to finish setting it up, and I think that's going to be the home for the Unfiltered Truth in Jamaica, Queens, guys. My home away from home. Tonight, I want to talk about intentions. So I've been watching this show called Ready to Love. My dad's wife actually put me onto it, and it's actually really dope. It's a lot of black singles that have come together and they're looking for love. And a word that keeps sticking out to me is intentional. And it sticks out because I don't think I was really intentional with anybody from my past. I was always for me, what can they do for me? And it's gonna get unfiltered tonight. I just want to be honest with everybody and really just give my truth this evening. For the past couple of weeks, I've been feeling real unbalanced. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if I'm feeling like I should be further in life. I should be doing more. I should not be doing so much. It's like a power struggle I'm having with myself. So intentions keeps replaying in my head. Are you being intentional with people? Are you being intentional with your time? Are you being intentional with every aspect of your life right now? And I'm really working on that, for myself. So I had an ex hit me up, and I had to pretty much tell him I'm not who I once was. We're not the same people we were 10, 15 years ago. That's somewhere I'm not trying to go back to. And I'm okay with letting sleeping dogs lie. But I want to address myself because I have an issue with letting people go. I know I can be done, officially done. I'm not going back to this person. This is it. It's over. But my spirit doesn't stop caring about them. And the reason I said my spirit is because if I feel my, I don't even know how to explain it. My spirit doesn't feel like it's over. I want to help you still. I want you to be the best version of yourself. Just because romantically we didn't work, it doesn't mean that I should treat you like trash or like shit. I would never want anybody to treat me like that. So I make sure to keep that type of relationship with people, just people in general. Not because you're my ex, I should just be like, oh, you're dead to me. You did this, you did that. I did this, I did that. I'm learning to be intentional with people. So now I'm setting boundaries, and people can't really understand that because I let so much slide as the younger version of myself. So now that I am 34 and I know what I want and I know I'm not going back to certain situations, it's hard for the people that was once in my life because they're confused. If you grew, so did I. I didn't stay the same. I'm not stagnant. I know what I want now. And unfortunately, that's not you or anybody from the past. I'm okay in that aspect. And I just want everybody to be okay. I just want to take a second to shout out my boy Homie Hill with the We the Unpopular hoodie. I need a new color, but that's neither here nor there. And I also want to shout out my East New York fam. he let me know this week that he's watched every episode. He is supporting me behind the scenes, and I appreciate that. Like, I didn't know what direction I wanted to take this podcast, but I knew I wanted it and I wanted to make it my own. And I was having a lot of issues with it because a lot of people had opinions on how I should do it, where I should do it, what I should do. And it's like, you cannot tell someone how to do their vision, like how to make their vision come to life. And I know I keep talking about this, but it just keeps happening. And it's like, I appreciate feedback. I appreciate everything that everyone has done for me along the way. And I would never forget that. So dealing with what I was dealing with, because I've been feeling a little unbalanced recently, and I'm just trying to figure out what it was. And I don't know if it's like my spirit is weak right now. I don't know what's going on, because for the past few weeks, I've had a couple of exes hit me, and it's like, maybe I am too available. A friend of mine told me that. He was like, you're too available for people, and they take advantage of that. And I didn't really understand it, and I didn't know how to receive it. So I was kind of confused, like, what do you mean I'm too available? And then I sat back and I actually thought about it, and it's like, it's true. It's absolutely true. Like, people that shouldn't have access to me, I'm just like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. But that's, again, with my intentions. My intentions are always pure. I never go into anything expecting anything back. I'm not going to bring it back up, whatever I've done for you. Like, if I did it, I did it. That's cool. I did it because I wanted to, and it's done. I can't take back anything I've done for anybody. But I'm learning that everybody's intentions aren't pure. Everybody's intentions aren't your intentions. And that's okay. Like, that just shows you their character. And I never want my character to be questioned, or anyone to wonder where I stood with them or how I stood. Everything I did because I wanted to, and it got done. And I was like, I have a lot of conversations with people because I feel like as people we need to learn others, and that's why I think a lot of relationships fail, because people go into it wanting to change people, wanting to run people's lives, and it's like, no, you have to go into things learning people. And that's what I've been doing. Like, I've been learning people since I could learn, since I knew what learning was. And I love that about myself, because just because I process things differently, some people don't understand me, and they don't really understand where I'm coming from sometimes. But I do need to evaluate things and see where I stand and how I stand in certain situations. And I love that about myself, and I would never change that ever. So that's like pretty much why intentions have been on my mind, I guess. Like, not really relationship wise. Like, people are going to show you what they want to show you, and it's like, it's becoming a script now. It's like, what's going to work on somebody, what's going to make me look good, what's going to, and it's like, yeah, intentions aren't pure, and you're going to keep getting the same results. And I realized that at one point my intentions weren't pure, because it was just like, I realized I was turning into the thing that I hated, like the version of myself that I didn't like. Like, I at one point stopped caring about other people's feelings, and that just was taking me to a place that I didn't want to be. I was turning into something I hated. So that's pretty much my take on intentions. And that leads into this next thing that I wanted to talk about, with when is it a good time to let go? How do you know when it's time? So again, I do have a problem with letting go, but it's not about keeping people. Maybe it is. You know what? Maybe it is about keeping people around. Even though I know for myself, it's never going to go anywhere. It's never going to be anything that it's not supposed to be. But I know people that they dismiss exes like, oh, it didn't work out, so we don't ever need to speak again. Oh, it did. That was once the person you probably thought you loved, the person that was your best friend, the person that kept your secrets, the person that you gave your secrets to, they gave you their secrets. So it's like, how do you discard a human? Like, I never want anyone to feel dismissed. Like, that's a horrible feeling, to feel dismissed, like you never mattered. And at one point, the person did matter. So that's probably a flaw of mine, although I don't look at it as a flaw, because people should never feel discarded or dismissed, because I don't ever want to feel like that. So I don't, that's probably why I keep people around that probably shouldn't be around me. But, you know, I'm learning as I grow, and that's the great part about this life that we have. We have to learn as we grow. How would we know? How would we know if we don't learn as we grow? But I'm also learning how to weed out people with bad intentions. Like, I keep hearing, like, people will show you who they are. When people show you who they are, you believe them. And I'm the type of person, like, I look at myself like, I don't know if it's like a healer, a saver. I don't know what it is, but it's like the more damaged someone is, like, I want to help them. Like, I've always been like that though. Since I was little, I've always wanted to help people. Like, that's always been my thing. Like, you have a problem, I'm here to help you fix it. Like that. I don't know if I feel like it's my calling. I don't know what exactly it is, but they said that about Virgos. I think I saw a meme one time and it was like, Virgos are always trying to heal somebody, or always trying to mend a broken heart. And it's not that. Is, well, it might be that. But it's like, at what point do we remember that every human has emotions? Like, even if they're not the greatest, they're not pure, like they don't have good intentions, they still have emotions. And we can't discard people. We really can't. And that's what I think my mission is with this podcast. So I'm really looking forward to doing live interviews and actually getting to talk to people even more, because I love to conversate with people. You'll never learn anything if you're closed off. And honestly, for the past few weeks, that's how I've been feeling. Like, I want to be closed off. I don't really want to be outside like that. I'm not really feeling social. And I think it was just my way of weeding out things and people that I didn't want to be around. Like, that was my, like, this was my safe space for myself. Like, I didn't want to be outside. I barely wanted to go to work. I don't know. It just, I felt drained. I felt just unbalanced. And I think it was people I was around, people that I didn't need to be around. I had people hitting me up, telling me like their drama, and everything just started snowballing, and I was just feeling out of it. But now I'm like feeling a little better, and I made sure like to incorporate the gym. Like, the gym really has become therapy for me. Like, I'm happier, I feel good. I'm like, just it gives me that burst of energy that I need for myself. So listen, guys, summer is coming and the gym is fun. That's all I'm gonna say on that. I'm never gonna be one of those people like, you need to be in the gym, you need to. We know where we need to be. I'm gonna leave that at that. But I was really struggling with weeding out people that had pure intentions. And my thing is, I always want to give people a chance. Like, I never want people to feel like I'm just judging them, because I don't want to feel judged. I don't want people judging me. But it's going to happen no matter what. I'm cool with that, because I'm sure people have judged me, and that's on you. You have to figure that out. Figure out why you feel like you need to judge. Why do you feel that's necessary? So that I don't mind, but I'm just really weeding out who needs to be in my life. Like, I have this one guy, he's so positive, like so positive, and I love that. Like, I didn't realize how much I needed that until now. Like, not saying that I'm like getting cursed out by everybody else, but it's like, just to have like affirmations and like things being sent to you that you didn't even know you needed for the day, it just feels like different, and I like that. And I'm the type of person that I felt like I didn't deserve it, and I don't know what it was. Like, I'm not one of the people with ill intentions or anything like that, but it's like I didn't feel like I deserved it, and I don't know. That's something I guess I need to work on myself, which is what I'm doing right now. Like, I was telling a friend earlier that I want to take the summer off of people. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I really mean it. Like, I want to take the summer off of people. I don't want to be every and anywhere. I don't want people taking up my time with things that don't matter to me, at least. Like, I want to be selfish. Like, at this point in my life, I just want to be selfish. I'm always running and doing things for people. My mom had to tell me a couple years ago, she was like, you're running and dropping everything and going to everybody's events, and who's showing up for you? And when she said that, I was like, damn. Like, I sat back and I evaluated, and I'm like, huh, this lady's onto something. Like, one thing I could say, my mom always has good intentions for me. That's one person I have, without a doubt, not one doubt in my mind, has the greatest intentions for me, and I love her for that. So that's enough on intentions. But I honestly feel that way. Like, I just want people around me that has the greatest intentions. Like, let's build together. Let's move on as a people. Like, I want that more than anything. I think right now we are kind of lost. Like, as a people, we are lost. Like, I don't even want to get into that. It will bring down my energy that I'm trying to build up. But I wanted to talk about something I talked about earlier with a friend. I'm always having conversations, guys. So I'm just giving you guys the gist of what some of my outside conversations are. So we had to talk about feeling wanted versus needed. So he didn't understand what I meant when I said I want to feel wanted and needed. So he told me, he was like, that's the same thing. And I was like, nah, it's not. I was like, being wanted, it just feels different than being needed. Like, wanted to me, it's like I'm chosen. Like, I choose you. I'll choose you every day. I will always choose you. That's wanted for me. Needed is like, you're just giving me everything I need. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how I feel about wanted versus needed. And that's pretty much how I feel about that. And another thing that I'm working on, I guess, as a Black woman navigating through this world that is pretty much against us sometimes. Like, I've had a couple of conversations with Black men, and a couple of conversations where they say we're combative. We don't shut the hell up and listen and make daddy a sandwich. Like, it's funny to me because as a Black woman, we're taught to go out and get it. Like, everything in us is like, go out and get it. Make sure you're good. Make sure you are good. So now when we're older and we're making sure that we're good, a lot of black men can't really understand that. They can't understand why we're hard, why we're out here aggressive, we're blunt, we're tough. So my coworker yesterday told me that we became the predators. He was like, we can't tell you guys anything. And I was trying to explain to him, I was like, it's not that you can't tell us anything. It's not that. I was like, what do you think we require? Like, we have money. We have pretty much everything men have now. It's not it's not our fault, because I have this one guy that tells me, oh, you guys fought for this. I'm like, I wasn't around fighting for anything. Like, this was handed to me. It was here. It was written for me before I was even thought of. So I didn't fight for anything. This is just where I landed and what time frame we're in. So I was explaining to my coworker, I'm like, do you ever sit back and wonder why we have to be hard? Like, why are we so aggressive? I was like, a lot of men don't sit back and think about why we behave this way. And it's not because we hate black men and because black men are dating out of their race. And I've been told that a couple of times, like, you women, us black women, we don't submit. And then another friend of mine actually told me, what did he tell me? Oh man, I should have wrote this down. Pretty much we wait to see if we should submit. And I'm like, yeah, it's a protective mechanism, because when you're used to being hurt, you're used to being dogged out. Not saying that women aren't out here dogging out men. Like, I'm going to call it what it is. Like, what we have kind of become the predators, but not all of us. Like, we still want to be courted. I've met men that say, I don't take women on dates. I need to have sex with them before we go on a date. And it's like, what? But this is who you want. This is, sorry, not who you want. This is who wants to be kings and who wants to be leaders. What? Where are we right now? We're lost. We are lost. And it's hard for black women to navigate because we're up against everybody else. And a lot of my guy friends, black guy friends, they tell me like, oh, well, Latin women, they submit, they this. And another friend told me, he was like, dating white women, they wait until things go bad before they turn into, I guess, us, black, aggressive, whatever. And I was just like, so you rather us hide who we are before you find out like later on that we're crazy or we're vocal. And I guess they're saying we're not feminine anymore. We're too aggressive. But if we all sat back and figured out why we're so aggressive, why we feel this way, why we're guarded, we are very guarded. We're protecting ourselves. We see what's out there. We know what it is. We have people, people that tell us, oh, you're so aggressive. I had a guy years ago tell me I was combative. And I was like, I had to take a look at myself. I am aggressive. I'm very blunt, and a lot of people can't handle that. So I realized why he said it now, like that I'm older. I was combative because he would say A and I would say B. And I get it. But coming from where I'm coming from, that's why I am the way I am. Like, I've had girlfriends and guy friends not tell me, but they said they don't like the soft girl era. And they said, oh, we should have always been soft. We should have always this and that. Coming from single parent homes, sometimes you don't have that luxury to be soft. You have to go out and get it. You have to be this hard person that you don't really want to be. Like, at the end of the day, we most of us, not everybody, wants that fairy tale, that like love where you can be soft, where you can be vulnerable. And I struggle with that. I absolutely struggle with that. So I don't want to sit here and act like I'm just here, I'm whatever. No, I struggle with vulnerability because I don't trust people. I don't trust people with my heart, especially. Like, it's been broken. Like, it has. But I don't want to bring that into who I'm becoming. So that's why I want to take this summer to heal myself and actually get in touch with myself. I think a lot of people don't know themselves, and that's why we're walking around so angry and miserable and not really owning who we are. And I hope that me bringing these topics up helps somebody, because the direction that we're going in right now is very toxic. Like, there's people that thrive on toxicity, and it's like, why? Like, why? I had a guy tell me one time, I want to see you angry. I didn't understand it until I spoke to my little homeboy Jordan. Like, if anybody knows me, they know Jordan is my heart. Like, Jordan is one of my favorite people. Like, I literally, like, have known him since birth. Like, that is my baby. That's my little brother. That's my son. He's everything to me. So we were just chopping it up one time. He was telling me he watched the podcast, and we were just chopping it up. And I was like telling him like what I was dealing with at the time, and I was telling him like, yeah, this guy told me, oh, he wants to see me angry, and I'm like, I didn't understand. I'm not a guy, so it didn't click to me. So he was like, I tell girls that. Damn, Jordan, I'm blowing you up. Sorry. But he was like, I tell girls that. So I'm like, oh, that's a thing? Like, me as a woman, I don't know. I'm not trying to push a guy's buttons, because why? Like, everyone screams they want peace. Like, I want peace. I want this, I want that. But then you're actively trying to get me angry. So Jordan explained it to me. Mind you, Jordan is probably like 10 years younger than me, and I'm now catching it. He was like, we want to see you angry because we need to see you at your worst. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, wow, like, so guys really do think about the future, because sometimes I look at it like, people, I need to learn this though. People aren't like me. Like, everyone isn't blunt. Everyone isn't out there. Everyone isn't vocal. So I had to realize like, oh, okay, so you're learning me. You're trying to understand like what my triggers are and what to not do, maybe. But some people, they weaponize it and they use it against you. Like, I have a hard time opening up to people because I don't like things thrown in my face. And I feel like people I've come across, they do that. Like, they'll throw things in your face that you thought was sacred. Like, this was between me and you. Like, let's leave it here. And some people have thrown that in my face. So I've learned to navigate and see, again, like, what your intentions are with me, because I can be as gentle as you want, or I can be a pit bull. Like, it doesn't matter. It could go either way. But I don't want to be this angry black woman that everyone paints us out to be. We don't want to be that. Trust and believe. We want peace just as much as everyone else. But we haven't been given that opportunity. We haven't been dealt those cards. So when a man comes into our life, it's hard to receive that love, that safety, that protection. Is hard, especially if you've been hurt. And I understand it's hard for men as well, because you sometimes could put your all into someone and it wasn't right. It wasn't who you were meant to be with, and that's okay. But we also all have to learn how to move on and heal. And I was watching something the other day my best friend sent to me. Hey, Tobes. She sent me something, and the woman, like, I nitpicked some of the things she said. Like, I didn't agree with everything, but it was something she said that we're dealing with the same demon in different bodies. And that hit me because I feel like for like the past maybe 7 to 8 years, I feel like every guy I've dealt with was the same person. It's like everybody needs healing in the same section, and it's like, damn, we are the probably we're probably the most hurt generation. I guess we're also the most vocal generation. I love the fact that guys are now opening up, and I have a lot of guy friends and they open up to me, and I love that for them because sometimes they don't have that safe space with, I guess, their significant other or their family or whatever the situation is. Like, these are just friends, but it's like I always want to be that person for people, and I'm learning that that's just who I am. And I love that people look at me and they feel comfortable. So me being blunt and being honest, it would never be a bad thing. Although some people would look at it like that, but it would never be coming from a bad place. Like, I've always wanted to be a safe place for people. And when people do open up to me, I keep that for them. Like, I hold that, and I make sure like they know that I am somebody they can come and talk to. I probably should have been a therapist at this point, but I just didn't want to go back to school. But this is my outlet, and I love it. And the more like good reviews, bad reviews I get, it fuels me, and I want to keep going. I know that this thing is bigger than me, and I want to share something with you guys. So last week, my job had a rally. They're trying to negotiate a contract for us, and I didn't go. I was actually at work, so I missed it. It's upstate. So I had a coworker come up to me this week. I came back to work. We were chopping it up, and he was like, "Where were you?" Like, why weren't you at the rally? Why didn't you come with us? I was like, oh, I had to work. I didn't really feel like going. He was like, nah, you were supposed to be there. And I'm like, huh? So I'm just there like, yeah, whatever. Like, thinking he's joking. He was like, no, like, we needed your voice. Like, we needed you to, you're always asking these hard questions, and you're our voice. So I'm like, So a couple of months ago, we had like this shop gate in my depot, and my like the president of the union, he was like, "Oh, does anyone have concerns? Does anyone have questions?" So me being who I am, I raised my hand, and I asked, I'm like, "What are you guys doing for your workers' mental health? Like, what's going on with that? Like, we survived 2020. I mean, we're still here. The ones that did make it, I lost a couple of coworkers, and that impacted me. It was, I mean, people lost people all around the world. I'm not saying that it only impacted my job, but it's just like, what are you guys doing? Like, I was like, I have a problem with this company because if anything bad happens, we're reprimanded, but we're out here every day and we don't see anybody. We get nothing. Like, it's just like, oh, well, you came to work. Good job. We don't even get that, as a matter of fact. So for him to say that you're the voice, sometimes we really don't see or pay attention to who's actually listening to us. I just said that because of how I was feeling that day. I mean, it was for everyone there. It was for the other workers, but I just had to get it off of my chest. But just seeing that I impacted somebody, I actually, I don't know, like, it felt good to be seen in that light instead of me just being a loud, angry black woman. It's like, sometimes we do need that because things that people are thinking, they're not going to say it. I saw a meme one time, And it was like, why do quiet men end up with loud, fiery women? And like the guy, I guess, said like, oh, who's gonna tell the waiter or the waitress that my mashed potatoes is cold, or something like that. So we are necessary, and I want that to be known. Like we're not always angry for no reason like people think. Like we have a reason for this anger and for us being fiery and however people view us. So it just felt good coming from a black man that you see what I'm trying to do. I'm not here to bash, to treat men, black men, white men, any man like they're lesser than. It's just like sometimes you do have to speak up, and there's a lot of women that don't speak up, and sometimes you have to be that voice for them. I did a sip and write a few weeks back, and there was a woman there. She was like talking, and like everybody was getting mad at her. Like she was saying like sometimes like marriage came up, and she was saying like, oh well, sometimes what did she say exactly? I'm not gonna say word for word because I can't really remember, but she was basically saying like some people can be married and be miserable, and some people can just be shacking up and they're happy. And a lot of people like in the audience, because I pay attention, I read rooms, and I noticed like a lot of people, they were upset with her. And I went to her and I told her, I was like, you're causing a ruckus in here. Like I was joking around with her, and she was like, I'm not speaking for me. So everybody was like, are you married? Like people started jumping down her throat, like, are you married? Did you da da da? And I'm like, I get what she's saying, because we know people in loveless marriages. We all do. Like let's call it what it is. And then we know people that's been together, never married, and they were the happiest people you probably know. So everything isn't for everyone. I'm not one of those people, again, that marriage is just a piece of paper. Everything damn near is a piece of paper. So that I didn't agree on, but again, I don't want anyone to feel dismissed or discarded, like her opinions and what she was saying didn't matter. So I understood why people were upset, but I also understood what she was saying. She made valid points, and some people couldn't receive that because they didn't want to. They felt like what she was saying was, I mean, she was a little fiery, but I could receive it because I felt her passion. I knew why she felt that way. So I didn't look at it like, oh, you're being ignorant, you're being this. No, this is how she feels, and this is what she's seen. It's not like she's just pulling it out of thin air. So I just said that to say, I just want us to do better and be happier as people, man. Like, I want to do more events like that, though. Like, where I'm hosting, like I know that is my passion. That's what I'm good at. Like I had different people on different occasions tell me like, you should be doing public speaking, you should be really out there. And when I was younger, I didn't know how to receive that. I was just like, I'm just chatting right now, like this is a conversation. But then when my coworker, like that one interaction just made me see like, wow, I could make a difference. Like, not saying that, dismissing what people have told me in the past, like, oh, you're good at that, or you should be doing that. I'm not dismissing it. But when it came to something on a larger scale, like they wanted me to speak at a rally, that's when I'm like, wow, I felt like I missed my opportunity. But I feel like more opportunities will arise where I can let my voice be heard. And I've always stuck up for the underdog, and I always will, no matter what. And that is my unfiltered truth tonight. Bye, guys.